Here we go. Wait, 80! Come on, D!
On first down, Garoppolo. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Open his swing, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. To throw is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
We need clean. Also over here. Boom.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check 24. Easy. 61, matchbox lights. Hey, 88.
Now Rodgers. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Throwing is Rodgers. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jack 300. 56. Check 56. Let's go. Let's get this ball back.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 43.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 39, Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 23.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Rodgers now to throw. Jones has it, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Box it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Here we go.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Check. Crunch. 1, Omaha.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burns. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as a wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Running right, this is Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
56. Mike, 56 right there. Hey, Wood.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Beginning the drive here with Armstead. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 25 on second down, Garoppolo looking long for Thomas. He's got it at the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They come out here in the eye. So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Go ahead.
Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go! Here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
6-man.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D-linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Garoppolo now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. He gets it to Thomas. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go for verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check. Whip. Watch the whip.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that.
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Wrigley. Picked off near the 42. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Wants to look to add the extra point. And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams crew, when they run out there, they still feel it, and maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there, blocked the extra point, and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play caller, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. You often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy complete.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Deion Jones able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Shaw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The kick by Lutz is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
It's just me. It's just me and you. 47-9.
Now Rodgers. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th.
Here we go.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 12 yards there and a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Rodgers gets it off to Freeman. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers got his man complete over the middle. It's Freeman. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rodgers again now. And now here's another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3. Just like that.
They'll keep it on the ground. Shaw. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Here we go. What do you need? Pick me up. Here we go.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Looking here for Smith downfield. He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally.
And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers going to throw again. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 19. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Shaw. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Again, it's Smith. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Yeah, he will not get there as they stop him short.